Okay, so hello, I'm Sophie Jones. I am a Steren customer, and Jason and Steren are going to be helping me do up a house I've just bought in Cornwall. We bought this house on the 1st of August last year, 1st of August 2022, and how we met Jason actually was that he was the surveyor. So when we said we wanted to buy the house, we thought, right, we'll get a survey done. And I can't actually remember how we found Jason, but he agreed to come and do the survey for us. And we happened to be here because it was a rental property. The previous owners rented it out. And we happened to be here as rental guests when Jason came to do the survey. It was hilarious. After I decided I wanted to buy the house, we had our offer accepted. I thought, I'm going to rent it before I buy it to check that I like living in it. So we were here. Jason came to do the survey, and he was about to leave after doing the survey, and I said, I know you're going to give me a full report, but just like in a sentence, is this house going to fall down in 2 minutes' time? And he said, no, it's very solid. It does need an awful lot of work though. Started telling me what work it needed. And then he just happened to mention that he was currently doing a research project about the restoration of old buildings. And I could see that his passion was historical buildings, doing them up, all of that. So I thought very quickly on my feet, and I said, you wouldn't by any chance be interested in project managing the doing up of this house, would you, if I pay you a nice amount of money? Because I want everything that needs doing to be done, and I'm a completely impractical person who has no idea where to begin. I could never do anything like that myself. And he was like, yeah, sure, give me a shout when you move in. So as soon as we moved in and we'd bought the house, I contacted him and said, come round, let's discuss what we're going to do. So it was real serendipity that we happened to, have this surveyor who happened to have a strong interest in preserving historical buildings and all the sort of energy efficiency stuff as well. He was just, I felt like the universe had sent me my perfect project manager. So Steren are basically going to be overseeing all of the work that needs doing to the house. What I initially asked Jason to do was kind of be the person in charge, be the project manager. So identify what needed doing and then find the people who could do each individual bit of work, bring it all together and just deliver, basically turn the house from a really beautiful house with lots of potential to a really beautiful house with fully realised potential. So the main thing that needs doing with the house is, first of all, it needs to be sort of thoroughly damp proofed. There's areas where you can see that because of the way the walls have been painted, I don't think they've been painted with like fully breathable paint, so there's a bit of a damp issue, and Jason knows exactly what needs to be done because he's an expert actually on how to renovate and take care of old historical buildings. This house is 300 years old, so he knows all about that. So we're going to tackle the damp issue and then redecorate the entire house and sort of bring it into line with modern standards. So there's currently no central heating. The whole place needs decorating. It's very sort of shabby around the edges. So there's a sort of decorating component. New bathrooms are probably needed. And then at the moment, there's a fairly unattractive 70s style garage attached to the property into a beautiful modern wing of the house, which will be a sort of garden facing lounge with bifold doors and a skylight. So, and also we're going to have a what's it called, a wet room attached to that room as well, because there's currently no downstairs loo or bathroom. And then that will obviously be decorated as well. So basically just like bringing it into line with modern standards, thoroughly decorating it and turning the garage into a beautiful lounge with a bathroom attached to it. I was aware, and it didn't put me off at all, because I knew it wasn't going to be me doing it. It would have terrified me if it was down to me, but this is what's been so brilliant working with Jason. We haven't actually started the serious work yet. What we've done so far is We've talked a lot. He's shown me some designs for the garage extension that's going to be a lounge. So we've got, you know, we started talking and sort of envisaging what we're going to do, but teams of builders haven't yet turned up. So the serious work is still to be done. But what's so brilliant is anytime I notice anything, like sometimes I'll be walking around the house and I'll see a spot of damp, or I'll smell a mouldy smell, or I'll be like, something's wrong there. And automatically my brain just goes, it's fine, Jason's going to take care of all of that. So I was fully aware that the house needed a lot of work, but I just have never had any stress about it, because I just thought, like, for someone like Jason, he knows exactly how to approach things like that. He knows all the people. I don't even know the names of the categories of people that I'd need to do the stuff. He knows all that. So I just literally wander around feeling very happy, thinking Jason's going to take care of all that. But yeah, I was fully aware of what needed doing. But thankfully, we got the house at what I regarded as quite a bargain price. So I immediately just assigned some extra money in my mind to the doing up of the house. I kind of almost put it in with the price of the house, so that it would never be sort of an unpleasant surprise that I was going to need to spend money doing the house up. Well, I mean, I'm actually very relaxed about that, because although the house does need a lot of work, it is already beautiful. And, you know, yes, there's some scuffed skirting boards, but I live here very happily. I just love it. So in terms of timescale, we actually didn't want the work to begin immediately, because we wanted to be able to enjoy the house without workmen being around for quite a long time. And there's nothing that isn't perfectly livable with it. It's actually quite relaxing to have a house that you know needs a lot of work. We're really happy for it not to start immediately. And in terms of the timescale, I asked Jason how long he thought it might take for each phase of the work. He told me, and it sounded reasonable. So whenever it starts, I'll be happy for it to take as long as it takes. But I'm certainly not going to stress about it has to be done by this date, because that's just a recipe for misery. I always assume everything takes longer than people say it's going to take. So whenever, you know, in the past with other houses, if anyone has ever said to me it'll be done by the end of May, I always think, right, it might be done by the end of July, and that avoids a lot of stress. I definitely would. I definitely would. I mean, I think for a certain kind of person, that service is invaluable, because if you have a project manager, then all the logistics and, you know, how are we going to get the floor tiled while we're also having the light fittings, but, you know, all of that, how it all comes together, someone takes care of for you, and you don't have to work it out yourself. And what I really wanted was to be able to have my brain free, so that I wasn't trying to work it all out. So I only need to speak to one person, Jason, and he speaks to all the other people. So as and when we're about to start the big works, you know, Jason will be the person that I speak to. He'll be the one that gives me the updates. And for me, that is worth its weight in gold, because I would not be able to, because I have such a busy career and family, I wouldn't be able to be thinking, you know, is Fred the decorator coming today, or is it Bill the plumber? You know, that wouldn't have any room in my head. So it's just brilliant to be able to think that someone else is in charge, and that someone else has got the overview.